we had just come back from one of the sun resorts. We'd been gone for about 4 days. And I would always, Paul Lloyd's house, he had like 3 stories, and I would always stay on the bottom floor. And then my bed was, it was like the game room, but I had a bed and everything I needed, and showers, and it was a good little house, nice little house. But anyway, I'm in the shower that morning. We're getting ready to go do something. I forget what it was. And Giant Warrior comes knocking on my door in the bathroom, and he says, "You need to get out of there." And I said, "I'm sorry, go away." And I hear Lance, "No, you really need to come." And I'm like, "Guys, leave me alone," because it was my birthday. I thought they're going to try to rip me on something. And about that time, this guy opens the door, and he's got an Uzi, and he's got 2 sidearms, and he's got the badge, and he's got the Kevlar, and he says, "No, you do need to come out." And I'm like, "Okay, can I put some pants on?" No. So I put a towel on, I walk out, I sit on the edge of the bed, and they're tearing the room up that I'm sleeping in. And I'm like, I look at Lance, and I look at Warrior, and Ken Johnson was there. And I'm looking at them, and they're like, none of them, we don't know what's going on. We just know the house is being torn apart. And Paul's standing there in the doorway, and he's like, "Don't worry, guys." And I'm like, "What do you mean, don't worry?" He says, "There's nothing wrong." Bigger than shit. About that time, the wall next to my bed, they pull out a little cubby, and there's about, I would say, $50,000 to $60,000 worth of South African currency counterfeit in that wall. So they link Paul up and they take him off, and we're all, "Oh no, what's happening next?" I guess tour's over. And about 5-6 hours later, Paul comes walking through the front door, and I'm like, "Did you bail out?" And he says, "No, they dropped the charges." And I'm like, "What do you mean they dropped the charges?" And he says, "We were gone 4 or 5 days, and his office was literally attached to the house." He says, my lawyer argued anybody could have come in the office, walked in through the door that you were, your room, and stashed that to frame me. And that was the end of that. But yeah, I had to leave the shower in my towel at the end of an Uzi.
Is that the scariest thing that happened to you over there? Or was there anything with the civilians that you were?
Oh, yeah, it's up there.